Uh-oh, Porter's back in town. Porter Wagner. Hi, I'm Teddy. My name is Storm. We're the Wolford Brothers, and we're going to have a great time this week with folks like Porter Wagner, Dolly Parton, and all the Nashville, Tennessee. It's a big old heartache loving you. I stay at home and walk the floor while you run around, knowing that your cheating has really got me down. I tell myself I've had enough and that I'm gonna leave, but either way, go or stay, I know I'm gonna grieve. It's a big old heartache loving you. It's a big old heartache, but what can I do? Why, if I up and left you, I'd be twice as blue. It's a big old heartache loving you. That's pretty tough. I'll just sit alone at home and wait impatiently for the honky-tonks to close the turning of your key. I tell my heart that it's not worth what you've put me through, but if I go, sweetheart, I know I'd run right back to you. It's a big old heartache loving you. It's a big old heartache, but what can I do? Why, if I had left you, I'd be twice as blue. It's a big old heartache loving you. Thank you very much. You put that guitar down every chance you get, don't you?
I sure did, because that one line, I wanted to come in there so bad.
Earlier?
Both times. Earlier, yes.
I noticed that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you messed me up.
I noticed you wanting to come in early the second time.
You know, the folks have been writing in and they've been complaining because you never pick your guitar, and I told them that you didn't know the chords to our songs was the reason you didn't do it.
Well, the only complaints I've had is the fact that you don't look like Porter Wagner and that I don't look like Dolly Parton. That's...
I agree in both cases.
Make welcome our special guest, Porter Wagner.
Yes, sir.
Take me far across the wide Missouri, to a ridge where white oak trees grow tall and slim, to a little hillside farm in Hopewell County. Let me see my childhood playground once again. It's been a long time since I've seen the home place. I wonder if the trees still stand so tall. Wonder if they remember how I'd climb them and swing upon their limbs when I was small. When I was just a child, I'd play for hours on the banks of South Fork Creek, not far away, skipping rocks across the water, walking barefoot through the meadow, watching Daddy work the fields of new-mown hay. So take me far across the wide Missouri, to a ridge where white oak trees grow tall and slim. Let me live again those happy childhood memories. Let me see my childhood playground once again. Mom would always tell me don't go swimming. Son, there's turtles in that water, mean as sin. But I'd slip far away behind the willows, then as naked as a jaybird I'd jump in. So take me far across the wide Missouri, to a ridge where white oak trees grow tall and slim. Let me live again those those happy childhood memories. Let me see my childhood playground once again. Oh, let me see my childhood playground once again.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Now, here's a boy that showed me pictures a while ago of a string of bass. How many bass did you catch that weighed how many pounds?
The best catch that I ever had, I caught 36, weighed 78 pounds.
36 that weighed 78 pounds. That was enough for me to have dinner, too. How come I wasn't invited?
Well, I'll invite you next time.
How are the wagon masters?
They're just great, and of course Dolly's here today, and
yes.
we're real glad to be on you and Teddy's show, and we've looked forward to it a long time, and good to be here.
We want to come over and visit your house sometime. We just haven't been invited.
You've had an invitation for the last 5 years. All right. You guys are as busy as we are.
I know it. This is Porter's first television show, friends. The first time he's been on TV in his life. I tell you what, don't run off. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we have a commercial message here. And right after this commercial, we're going to meet Miss Dolly Parton.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. Your beauty is beyond compare, with flaming locks of auburn hair, with ivory skin and eyes of emerald green. Your smile is like a breath of spring, your voice is soft like summer rain, and I cannot compete with you, Jolene. He talks about you in his sleep, and there's nothing I can do to keep from crying when he calls your name, Jolene. And I can easily understand how you could easily take my man, but you don't know what he means to me, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him just because you can. You could have your choice of men, but I could never love again. He's the only one for me, Jolene. And I had to have this talk with you. My happiness depends on you, and whatever you decide to do, Jolene. Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man. Jolene, 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 please don't take him even though you can. Jolene, Jolene. Thank you very much.
Fine, Dolly. Thank you very much.
If my friend should ask for me, here at home is where I'll be. There's no one I care to see. I'm breaking in a brand new broken heart. Now the heartaches have begun. There a job that must be done. I've no time for having fun. I'm breaking in a brand new broken heart. Oh, leave me alone and let me cry, cry, cry. There are tears that must be cried until there's no more tears inside. Let me take the count of 10. Then I'll bounce right back again. Let me be alone till then. I'm breaking in a brand new broken heart.
Thank you.
The mixture of the blood that flowed through his veins had killed his conscience and filled him with shame. He was part white, part black, and part red. That's how he got the name George Leroy Chickasha. He had no respect or feeling for anyone, including himself. He resented every man. In his soul there was no salvation. And he hated the sight of cotton fields and his thoughts of plantations. The bitterness set his soul afire when you think of Indians and reservations. He had the coldest gray eyes I've ever saw in a man. He could look clear through you and back again. They looked like pieces of stone when he'd stare. There was a mixture in the texture of his hair. It hung low around his cheekbones that were high above his chin. I saw him kill a man with his own bare hands. Show no mercy to him. He carried a pistol, a switchblade, and a tomahawk with him night and day. The meanest man that ever lived, George Leroy Chickasha. He had the quickness of lightning and could run like an antelope. He feared no man, no gun, or rope. I saw him watch a rattlesnake bite him on the leg, never batted an eye. Then he said, get a taste of that blood and crawl out there and die. They locked him in the security cell in Baton Rouge. He stayed one day. Iron bars couldn't hold George Leroy Chickasha. At last he gave himself up, said he was tired of running away. So they spread the news that they'd hang George Leroy Chickasha. He walked up the 13 steps to the trapdoor and stood on it with no expression in his eyes. And when the minister asked him if he wanted to pray, he looked toward the skies and said, God, inside my veins flows blood of red, all mixed with black and white. I have no race or creed. I pray to die. George Leroy Chickasha.
Thank you.
We've asked Dolly and Porter to lead us in our inspirational song this week. And Porter, I understand that Dolly's grandpa was the inspiration for this song.
Yes, he was. Dolly and an aunt of hers wrote it, and it is a true story about her grandpa.
Well, I hope we don't mess up a great song that Dolly wrote and Dolly and Porter had a #1 record on called Daddy Was an Old-Time Preacher Man.
Thank you, Daddy.
Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land.
He preached so plain a child could understand.
Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man.
He told the people of the need to pray. He talked about God's wrath and judgment day. And he preached about the great eternity. And he preached hell so hot that you could feel the heat.
Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. And Leon would get up to testify as we'd sing in the sweet by and by. Then we'd sing, I'm on my way to Cannon's Land. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man.
Revivals and camp meetings went for weeks. Folks came from all around to hear him preach. Daddy said if one is saved, it's worth it all. But the aisles were always filled at altar call.
Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. He preached the word of God throughout the land.
He preached so plain a child could understand.
Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. Daddy worked for God but asked no pay, for he believed that God provides a way.
Oh, he never had a lot, but we got by.
Yes, it's 'cause the Lord was on my daddy's side. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. I'm on my way to Cannon's Land. Yes, Daddy was an old-time preacher man.
Porter Wagner watches our show, and he's always heard Teddy and I say that you're always welcome at our house. So he come and knocked on our door, and we let him in. He's standing right here. And, Porter, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, Doyle. It's my pleasure to be here, and Dolly and I both.
Well, I want you to know that Teddy and I watch your show every week, too, with Dolly. And I don't know of anybody that could give her a better introduction than Porter Wagner himself, because I've seen and heard you do it many, many times. So why don't you introduce her?
All right, Doyle, I'll be glad to. It's always a thrill for me to introduce Dolly, because I think she's the singingest, songwritingest little gal in the world.
I agree.
Miss Dolly, I didn't catch the last name. Parson? Dolly Parton.
I'll be on the River Brothers show permanently next time.
We might have slept in the mayor's yard or camped by the river banks. We fed ourselves from the fruit of the land and quenched our thirst with the rain. But we never did allow no roots to grow beneath our feet, 'cause life was free and simple for Gypsy Joe and me. Well, the winter came and the snow did fly, and the night was cold and still, and the rags we wore were not enough, and Joe, he caught the chills. And he told me how he loved me, and in my arms he went to sleep. Now there's no more Gypsy, no more Joe, it's just me. While standing here on the edge of this bridge, looking down, I see the face of Joe and Gypsy looking back at me. Oh, and out there in the darkness, I can hear them calling me. Tonight we'll be together again, Gypsy, Joe, and me.
Dolly, that's beautiful. Did you
Well,
write that?
Yeah, I did.
Come here, Teddy. Put it off until tomorrow.
Whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa. Come on. Sing it.
Okay. Put it off until tomorrow. Whoa, whoa.
Don't sing it too good, hoss. I'm on thin ice.
Boy, you better believe it.
Teddy and Dora, if we had just a second, I want to tell everyone how proud that I am to know and be on the Wilburn Brothers show.
We've known you for a long, long time, Porter.
You sure
Come on,
have.
Porter. How many times?
I've known you, your father and your mother, your sister Geraldine, Lester and Leslie, and I'm really proud of you guys. Thank you for having us on.
We're proud of you, too.
Thank you.
Say thanks to Porter Wagner and Dolly Parton. We say thanks to you. Join us next week for 30 minutes more fun on the Wilburn Brothers Show. Bye-bye.